Okay. Dog's feet, Peggy's toes. What about grippers? I think it's gonna be pretty evenly split, honestly. Anyway, I think on Thursday I'm gonna, hopefully, the goal is to finish Choo Choo Charles. If we have spare time, I will try night 5 of Five Nights at Freddy's again. But I think what I would like to do is, like, once I finish Charles, to move on to another game and not necessarily just pick up continuously with Five Nights, because the gameplay's kind of the same, and I feel like that, like, just to keep playing that would be kind of boring. I feel like I get a little bit stressed when I think I would get kind of stressed if I was, like, just playing that, and then I'd be worrying about, like, it being boring to watch. So I think I'll add in Five Nights as, like, a tacked on piece to other games, like, afterwards. But I promised, I think I looked it up. I think it's pronounced Neva. But I'm planning on that this month to be next. And then Frosted and Popathins sent me a game that I don't know anything about other than it's like in a creepy pizza place. And I have to play it. So that will be after a really nice, beautiful game. Grease 2, yeah. I'm excited to play Neva. I think it looks really nice. Grippers is also toes. Grippers are feet that can pick things up. I call the feet that pick things up monkey toes. I can use my toes to pick things up. I'm not going to show y'all though. My mom laughs at my feet. She's like, they're so long and weird. And I'm like, excuse me. Those are, you made those! What are you talking about? But she also can't stretch her toes out the way that I can. I think she's jealous. She doesn't have my gripper dexterity. Moms will criticize everything even if they made it. You should have heard, like, the excitement in her voice when I told her the first time that, like, there's not a ton of adult skaters in my area that I have to compete against, and so she's like, oh, so you can win. And I was like, I could, doesn't mean I will. She's very competitive, so I just thought it was funny. I'm like really feeling the black fabric on my eyeballs today. Wow. I'm a mom and I don't criticize. There's still time. As long as you're not nasty about it. Like, my mom's not nasty about it. She, like, when she makes fun of my feet, she's like, it's in good fun. And I'm laughing and she's laughing, so it's fine. Don't hurt me like that. Look, my parents had to tease me because they didn't give me any siblings. They had to do all that work themselves. They had to toughen me up somehow. I thought my laptop died today that I used for work, and it's my laptop too, and I was like, it took me like an hour just to get clocked in because my computer was struggle busing, and then it just like shut off, and I was like, oh dear, are we not working today? Is that how this is gonna go? But I finally got it on, but it took a while. My parents bullied me and gave me 3 siblings. Oh no! I bully my parents back now because I'm older and bigger. I shan't be having more. I'm like somewhat expecting my family. So I grew up for a while with 2 of my cousins who are like, one is 9 months younger than me and the other one is 3 years older than me. They're both married and they have kids. And I'm gonna go see them and the rest of my family for Christmas for the first time in a while. And I'm the only one of this generation of children in my family that's unwed and childless. And I'm like, I'm gonna be waiting for them to be like, when are you gonna get married and have children? And I'll be like, never! Never to the children. But I think they're both planning on having like a handful each, so they can just cover my quota and it'll be fine. The depression you get post-baby is wild. Yeah, that shit's no joke. That doesn't sound fun. There's like, I mean, there's a lot of reasons why I don't think I'd be a good parent. I would like, if I ever found myself as one, I would do my best, obviously. But it is not a life that I'm never gonna go out of my way to like choose to poot out my own child, you know? Where did all my scissors go? Wherefore art thou? Don't you want your parents to be grandparents? If my parents wanted to guarantee grandparenthood, they should have had more kids. My thing is like, I would love to be a grandparent, but I don't want to have the kids to do it. I don't want to do all that work. It's not for me. I just want to be the spoiler. If someone were to ask me that, I'd say, my boyfriend and I've been trying. Mario, please. I love that though. Just stare him right in the eye, deadpan, say it. That little monster is my child. Yeah, I'm 1000% like gonna have a gaggle of animals. I feel like, yeah, so here's my thing. I've done zero research, so keep this in mind. I grew up watching Annie, and the American Girl doll that I had was Nellie, who was an orphan. She is the orphan side character to Samantha, and Samantha's family ends up like adopting her. And so in my brain, that's like what adoption is. I know that it's more complicated than that, but I don't like know what goes into it and all that shit. So like, just right with that in mind, when I'm like 50, I could see myself adopting, if I wanted to have a kid, being so thrilled to like adopt a teen or a tween, or fostering or something like that. Like, but that's kind of with the movie magic in my brain too. Like, I would need to deeply research that, but like, if I were to ever have kids, that's how I would want to do it. My parents adopted 2 kids and the process was wild. Yeah. Yeah, it's like, I know that there's probably so much shit that on so many levels, in so many different ways, that is a part of it. But I don't actually understand what it all is. And I want to be mindful of that whenever I say like, well, maybe I'll just adopt a kid when I'm like 50 and it'll be a teen or a tween. Like, I say it casually, but I say it like, I am aware that there's a lot going on that I don't understand or know about. My mother is adopted, but back then it was like, here's money, you are ours now. I had a friend in high school who she would like tell people, she's like, I cost $5,000 for my parents. So they paid $5,000 for me. Skipping the potty training, all the gross stuff. Yeah, I'm like, I'm not here for like, I just there's so much of like the early childhood stuff where I'm like, I know logically that they have developmental stages that they have to go through, and that's fine, it's not their fault, but like, I don't want to deal with it. I don't think I could. I don't feel like I'd be a fair parent. Or like, it would be really hard, right? Like, I don't want to wipe anyone's ass. I don't want to clean up an unreal amount of vomit. I don't like watching babies eat. It freaks me out. There's too much saliva involved, and their hands are in their mouth, and there's food everywhere. I don't like it. I am really uncomfortable. I don't like it. Hi, John. Yeah, see, I also have to make my fortune before I can do it. I want to make my fortune, and then I want to buy a mansion, and then I want to fill it with teens and tweens. They literally charge you for skin-to-skin contact after birth? Why? That's... If you don't want hands in the mouth, you need them to be at least 7. Okay, great. Yep, perfect. Sounds good to me. Most people's birthing bills don't hit 20K plus, which is how much adoption costs. There was one of my coworkers, when he had his kid, he was like, she's not even a month old and she already has $10,000 in debt. I was like, damn. Why does it cost money to, like, so much to be born and to die? Like, come on now. I haven't changed my niece's diaper and she's almost 3. I've never changed a diaper in my life. But I've also not had a lot of opportunity. Not that I would want it. I don't need the opportunity. I'm good. But like, I haven't been around enough. I held my first baby at 19. Yeah. Took me 19 years to hold a baby for the first time. Never wiped one's butt. Don't need to. I'm good. Not for me. Done my time changing diapers. I need my sister-in-law to stop popping them out. Just don't do any more diapers. I don't know why I thought your kid was a lot younger than 5, Scorpy. I didn't think I knew your kid was that old. Had a tad bit of experience. 6 separate doctor appointments for vaccines and checkups after birth for the first year. Yeah. Oh, fun! I feel like that's like when kids start getting like fun, right? I say that just thinking about like, I remember being 5 and 6, but I don't remember much before that. And I feel like 5 and like when the consciousness kicks in, right? Is that when it gets fun? Is all the way up his back. Oh, you know what? When I was, let's see, I think I was in high school, like early high school, and my neighbors were fostering like a few siblings, and one of them was like an infant baby. And my neighbors were really religious, and so they went to like this really late night Easter sermon thing or whatever. And so they weren't gonna drag the foster kids there because they were still pretty new to them, I think, and it was just gonna be a lot. So they asked me to babysit and just come stay the night. And I was like, I will look after the older two because they were just gonna be asleep. And I was like, I've never been around a baby and I do not feel comfortable watching that one. So they took the baby with them. And then I just like sat on their couch. They didn't have like a TV or Wi-Fi or anything. I was siphoning Wi-Fi off of my parents' house somehow. But yeah, I was like, and then yeah, I was just like, I was so stressed, and they asked me to do it the next year, and I didn't feel like I was allowed to say no, but I didn't want to say yes, and so I just like kept disappearing whenever they came by to ask about it. I felt kind of bad, but I couldn't do it. I babysat a few times. I did not like it. Thought she was fun at 2, but this age is a whole new thing. First 18 months were a dark age. Yeah. Is that like the equivalent to like the puppy blues? I hear that's a thing. I've also never had a dog, so I don't know about that either. Except when she tries to strangle me. Why is your niece trying to strangle you? What are you doing? Hi, MJ. How's it going? She just turned 1 when the world shut down. Oh, wow. I can't wait for her to be successful. She just thinks it's fun. Wow. Good night, Zoji. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for telling us about someone shitting all the way up their back. What a beautiful memory we'll have of you tonight. I had your stream pulled up right next to, like, right here. I was lurking. This whole time, I was lurking. Oh god, I can't see. Oh, my eyeballs. Okay. Oh, yeah. I feel like I don't like maybe it's because I was a kid and so I wasn't gonna know about this, but like getting into shit seems like it's worse than it used to be. Like getting into schools and daycares and stuff seems like it's worse than it used to be. Where are my scissors? I was looking for my scissors. That's why I stopped cross-stitching. And then I started talking about babysitting. There they are. Behind my pile of yarn. Oh, the project goes good also. I did not answer your question. I just picked it back up. I keep getting distracted by yapping. I refuse to put my child into church daycare. Those are the only ones with openings. Yeah, that's fair. Because you don't know what they're going to be. You either know what they're going to be teaching your kid or you don't know what they're going to be teaching your kid. And it's like, that's valid. A yapper at heart. It takes a lot for me to get yapping because I have to like get past the shyness in order to do it. I think I'm also just not used to being able to yap because like y'all can't talk over me, so I can talk as much as I want. And no one's gonna interrupt me unless I get raided or something. She called to tell me happy birthday, and as soon as she saw me, she punched the phone. What? This is a very interesting way for this child to display love and affection. I feel like it's a conspiracy. Yeah. Gotta keep the people tired and working. Do you know what they teach? Oh. I remember I used to go to my parents didn't make me go. They were like, if you want to go to church, you can go to church. If you don't want to go to church, you don't have to go to church. And no one is ever to make you go. And I went for a little while, but mostly because I wanted to like hang out with my cousins. And because I liked the arts and crafts, and I would like go to a vacation Bible school because I liked the arts and crafts and like the games and stuff. But then when we had to sit through like a Bible lesson or like do the singing part, I was like, this sucks. This is boring. I don't like it. I don't want to be here. I hated having to wear like church outfits. Yeah, I did. I didn't know it at the time. I didn't know that that's what I was like. That's why I was choosing to go, was like just hang out with my cousins and to like do the crafts. I still have some of them. And one of them, I remember we were given like horseshoes and we got to paint the horseshoe. And then they had like a girl ribbon and a boy ribbon that you could pick to like loop through the holes so you could hang it up at home. And I wanted the boy ribbon because it had sports balls on it. And they were like, oh, we don't have any of that. You'll have to have the flowers. And I was like, also, why is it a boy ribbon? Because I play sports and I'm not a boy. And then I went to Young Life on Monday nights for a few years in high school because I wanted to stay up later than my bedtime and hang out with my friends. But I didn't like... I was not invested in any of the like churchy stuff that they were teaching there. I always signed up for archery at my Christian summer camps, and they tried to talk me out of it every time. Why? I mean, I know why, but why? That's fun. Oh. See, I lived with my dad's side of the family during the summers for 6 years. I'm assuming that it was just probably cheaper to pay for my care there than it was to put me in daycare, because my parents both worked. Oh, what am I doing? I don't need all of these. But they do like go to church regularly and like that's a part of their lives, and that's fine. But that's why I went, was because I wanted to hang out with my cousins. And I need to remember when I go see them to not be like using all the language that I use here so freely. Just because I do want to be mindful of them. I will be in their houses, so. I didn't know that, well, never mind. My brain went to Vacation Bible School, and I was like, I didn't know Vacation Bible School was like overnight and they just keep you the whole time. No, not that one! More like saying the Lord's name in vain and stuff. I had a really religious friend in high school, and she was like very adamant that I not say that, and I was like, you know what, I'll be really careful about it when I'm in your house. And so that's just sort of the mindset that I'm like, not that my family's ever said anything, but that's the mindset that I'll just carry in for them. It's like, well, I'm in their house, I'll be polite with that and try and be mindful of not saying oh my God and Jesus Christ all the time. But that the high school friend was really not. She was like, she was trying to save me and another friend, not because she cared about us, but because it would get her a closer seat to God. Like, that's kind of where her mind was. And so I'm like, I always told people God's name isn't God. What is God's name? I also had to read part of the Bible as literature for one of my English classes in college, and we literally had to read Genesis and then take a quiz on it, and I was like, I'm not gonna remember this entire fucking family tree. What are you talking about? John! It's John! Based on the Bible would not, in fact, get her closer to God. Oh, jeez. Oh, no. I wish I knew what like denomination, I guess, like she went under, because I would love to like look into it and see what the heck she was like, what she was being told and taught and stuff. But she was definitely, she quit public school after I moved away to be homeschooled because the people at school weren't godly enough for her. Like, that was sort of where she was at. These people don't like it written out, but yeah, it's... Oh! Interesting. John, are you Jewish? Oh, yeah. I mean, also, I'm realizing that, like, I'm bringing this conversation very much into, like, religion, which is, like, could be a scary topic to have on the internet, but I don't know, as long as everyone's chill. Here's the thing. For me, ultimately, I just want people to be, like, the most important thing to me is, like, are you kind? Are you nice? Do you leave people alone? Then great. I don't care. Like, if nothing else, if no one gets anything else out of this, that is kind of where I stand. It's just believe what you want to believe, but, like, be nice to other people, even if they don't follow your religion or whatever. I don't believe in any gods. Learning about religions can be fascinating, but I'm not a spiritual person at all. Yeah, I'm not. I, like, tried when I was younger because I thought that that's just what you were supposed to do. But as I got older, I was like, this is not for me. This is not the vibe. I don't get it. We chill. I do find it really fascinating when people who aren't religious have a ton of religious knowledge, because I do not, and I went to church for a while. I don't know shit. But I guess that just really goes to show how little I was paying attention. I literally have, like, I think I still have the notebook in the other room, but I would literally, during big church, I think we talked about this because I don't know what the fuck big church is called. I just called it big church my whole life. And I brought a little notebook with me and I would just write in it for the entirety of the service, like, this is boring. This is boring. This is boring. Now we are singing. Good for them. How did we start talking about religion? I mean, I know it was probably my fault, but, like, I don't remember how we started talking about this. I don't know if I like this thread. This thread is, like, seems really weird and flat and fuzzy. What kind of project? Like a cross stitch or a knitting? Is it the if it's the MCal, I think you should cast it on. Hi Heat, how are you? If the new project is the MCal, I think you should do it. And then maybe I'll work on it with you tonight, because I need to pick up a shitload of stitches to get moving on it again. My parents did do right was let me make my choices. I got to attend all sorts of services. Oh, interesting. That's cool. Yeah, I'm really grateful that, because we lived in South Carolina for a while, which is a very religious area. But they were just like, if you want to go, you can go. If you don't want to go, you don't have to go. And they both were forced to go until they were like 15 or 16, and then they got to choose if they wanted to keep going or not, and they both quit. But they always just gave me an open-ended choice from the very beginning. Ugh, my hand is like slippery today. Not the MCal. No! If anything, that led me to be interested in the history more than the religions themselves. Yeah, I feel like history is a great pairing for religion.